continuously, the samatha and vipassanas detailed is described to us. As we progress with our practice. Well, for our practice, we have to know that there is nothing mysterious. That has to be the given condition. For Christianity and also Muslims, the religion is a very holy and mysterious thing. Something that is very difficult to prove. And for some things, there is no chance or no chance to be proven because they believe in something that is it is also very mysterious. But for Buddhism, these are the sayings of the cause and the effect, and so there's nothing that's miraculous, and there's also nothing. They are actual realities. So through the practice, what sort of sufferings are we going to eradicate? This is the reality. So the things that we cause, the things that causes the suffering, the seeds and the conditions, by eradicating them, and the nirvana that makes the suffering not to occur again, and knowing that there is a path, and the path that has been shown to us is the teaching of Buddha. And Buddha has also achieved that and has spoken to us clearly, and with his disciples, those paths has been proven too. So following this path, we say we are following the Buddhist teachings, and things apart from it. If you emphasize on something that is not true, or something that is not as per the cause and the effect, if you still force that or emphasize that and if you ask if they can come true, there's no chance that they would come true. But in Buddhism, even the teachings, amongst the contents of the teachings, if there's anything that's against the cause and effect, to say when you have practiced something else and if you have received different consequence, then that's different. Well, I haven't seen you all this while. Did you see online? Did you watch this online from Canada? How long did you stay in Canada? 6 months? But you missed class for like 2 years. So, a practice. Well, myself, something that I can achieve. It should be something that I can achieve myself. And if it's something that I cannot do it myself, then there's no reason for us to strive for it. And there is also no, it's not necessary for us to try. But if there is something that's possible to attain even without myself trying, that is also something not very logical. To say if your father worked hard and if your father has earned $1 million, and if the son is only having leisure and if he's only wasting his time and getting all the property, there are two chances. The first, either that the son becomes someone not very hardworking, or second, he would be taxed really high, like 30%, or he could also go to jail because he tries to play with the tax. So even the things that happens now in this world is the same. But if you expect something that you haven't done, or if the things that you haven't done can come true, then even in this labor, the chances of fail is 99.999%. This cannot come true. So if you want to collect the rainwater, instead of thinking thinking of collecting the rainwater, it'll be okay if we make the big bowl. So likewise, if we accumulate the virtue, and also in order to accumulate this virtue, if we make something that's moral and also in our heart, then the fortunes or virtues will be collected automatically. But if we make the classes really small, and to say if the parents give us so much money, inherit so much money, then the problem will arise. The reason why the rich families they cannot last for 2-3 generations, it's because they also train kids like that. So the contents of practice has been spoken in sequence, and that's also because it's not possible to achieve it through just by one. Well, there's a medicine that's most funny in this world. The first one is the medicine that cures everything. If you eat this medicine, then all the disease will be cured. The saying itself, if you look at it in the opposite way, it means if you eat this medicine, then everyone will die. You understand? So if you eat this medicine, more than 5,000 diseases that's in the medical dictionary can be cured. Then if you eat that medicine, then 100% everyone will die. It's similar to them. They have the same meaning. Even for practice, if you only do this practice, you attain all the knowledge and everything can come true. That saying makes Buddha only a mere speaker. If everything can be achieved with just one, if all agni disappears, then it only proves that something like that doesn't happen. So the stages of practice or the methods of practice, the reason why we're learning them step by step is because this helps the other and that helps the another. And for example, the discipline helps the samadhi, and also, that's also because if you don't follow the discipline, then samadhi cannot come true. Where that's a lie to say without discipline, the samadhi is practice. And also, Venerable Sanctuary says at times that studying sutras doesn't help your practice, but it is not so. But it is only a saying that when you're practicing samatha, do not have notions. But how is reading the sutras not going to help in your practice of samadhi when your thoughts are being organized? Where these sayings are very precious sayings. And so, depending on the afflictions that's being caused for all sentient beings, the required prescription is given, and they are different methods. So when we say the stages of practice, they're very important, and since they're very precious, we should not miss them, and we have to keep practicing them. And even in the stages of practice, there shouldn't be any stage that we do not think of precious. For example, to say, if a seven of rings becomes weaker, then the person will have two weaknesses. The first one is the person's teacher will stop. And also, if we do not offer, then we ourselves becomes very unlucky, and our thoughts will also shrink. So don't do things that restricts you. You have to. Buddha has introduced the method of offering or dana in order to show and prove. Well, and some people say this is not something that Buddha has said himself, but it's something that has been introduced in Mahayana. It's only Mahayana. Even in Hinayana, they follow this system. And even it's written in the sutras throughout the life, even at the time of the Lotus Buddha, and he had this memory for a long time. In front of the Lotus Buddha, he also had this offering, and to all the bodhisattvas and continuing the offering so far, it has never stopped. Even after he became Buddha, he has continued to he has continued to offer for the good of all sentient beings. So even when Buddha has entered the nirvana, he never stopped to offer, never stopped to do the offering. Even when he attained the Mahaparinirvana, well, making offering to something or somewhere wrong is wrong. But as a monk, it's very natural for a monk to make an offering, and starting from those offerings, the six paramitas, and also making different kinds of offerings, you can see that the virtue and also the mind, the heart becomes stronger. As discussed before, when you're practicing samatha, you have to be careful. You have to pay extra attention to slumber and also agitation. Well, even when you are singing or walking on the street or doing something, then we don't feel sleepy. But when you are sitting on a comfortable chair, then we feel sleepy. So when you practice samatha, the sleepiness is natural. It's natural for sleepiness to visit you. So if you say you are not sleepy when you do samatha practice, there can be two reasons. The first is either the person has a mental problem. Maybe the person has a mental problem and has serious problem. Or second, the person has been continuing to practice samatha even from his previous life, and so it has been deeply practiced by him. But most of the time, the first case is 99%. And normally, if we are people with a lot of agony or trouble, then even when you're sitting down, we have headaches. While sitting, you still think over there. Oh, I have given some money to them, and how much was the interest? And because you use your brain too much, the blood circulates to your head, and that's why the temperature also rises and you have headaches. So if you say you are sitting down and you have headaches and your head is very, you have many thoughts, and then that's because you're not able to practice samatha, and you also have many of your own problems. And that too, if many different thoughts arrest, then you become sleepy. And also, while you become sleepy, so for some of them, they say, Venerable Jinok, when I think about the land of or the world of Buddha, I feel so great about it. Again, you try to think about something good only, and then you feel sleepy again. While sitting, if I have about 2 million, I'll give 1/4 to Venerable Jinok, And while you think about those, you thought about it, right? Didn't you? And also because you have to think about those. And while thinking about them, you think that's a good thought, and so you don't try to stop it. You have no intention to stop it, and so you are being dragged by it. We call that hima. When you're thinking about something that makes you happy, there is no cut line, and so the thought flies to the top, and when you open your eyes, you realize that you have no penny. So if you have agitation, or if you feel sleepy, or if you fall into slumber, then because of that, you again fall back on your knees. Sometimes when you're busy, you feel that you're also sitting down making efforts. Someone said, after you work the whole week, sit with your family and talk to them for 1 hour at least. And when I asked a person why you're not repeating it, and the person was like, I only done it second times, for 2 times, and I cannot do it anymore because of the agitation. Then in order to tell them, you say it's good for your health if you drink tea. Well, they are just words that allures you. So you shouldn't do that because you have been tricked by them. Even in Buddha's saying, for a dog, if you throw the stone to the dog, then the dog will chase after the stone. But the lion, if you throw them the stone, then the lion will chase after the person who has thrown the stone. So you have to think about its cause. You have to think about its essence. You should not be dragged by it again and again. Well, I didn't see you for many days. Well, since I don't hear her laugh, it's a little empty. So we have to control them well, and while controlling them well, if we practice samatha, then the word samatha itself is concentration. Concentrating our mind to a place, it's a concentration. But there are concentrations that causes sickness to you, and there are concentrations that doesn't cause sickness to you. The concentration that causes sickness to you, well, for example, to say if you choose a wrong part of your body and concentrate on that part, then you can fall sick. For example, if you say you concentrate here, since when we ask you to concentrate Avalokitesvara, you concentrate here, and if you concentrate here, and if you recite Kanzenbosa for 1 hour, then because of the blood pressure, you have headaches. And also the thoughts, if you do like this, then the whole energy gets dispersed. So even after it's been done, the person goes around with distraction, being distracted. And also for some say, whenever I pray, I have my appetite. That's because you concentrated on your tongue or in your mouth, and so you keep having your appetite. And also some people who are too sensitive, when they recite the Avalokitesvara, then they think about, will my husband come after drinking today or not? What if he yells? If you think about them again, then it not only causes headaches, but it also it also causes some ill feelings inside of you. And so the moment your husband comes home, you have sense, you feel like attacking him. So when you concentrate to your heart, it becomes very muggy. But there are 2 points where it's okay to concentrate. At the lower part of your belly, that too, you need to have the right place. And the second part is under your feet. When you do a practice when you're standing, you concentrate to the bottom of your feet. If you concentrate to the bottom of your feet, it's okay, even if you practice it for hundreds of days. Well, we also have some the tic disorder. You know people who has this problem. For some who has problem thinking straight, because they have problem, they face difficulty with that. They concentrate to certain parts of their body, and so for those of them, if they realize that some parts of their body has some problem, then they do have to concentrate to that. So those people, for example, if they concentrate to their nose, then to their flat nose, then they want to have plastic surgery. It's a must for them. So where do you have to concentrate? Which part of your body do you have to concentrate? Not on the head. And second, when you concentrate to your breathing, do not do it inside your nose, but do it outside. To the end of the nose. So if when you're concentrating to the lower part of your belly or to the bottom of your feet, especially for those who has problem with like blood pressures rising, they have to concentrate to the end of their feet, the bottom of their feet. And also second, well, in the body, the part which we can concentrate, which is the safest part, is our lower part of our belly, because that's also the center of our body, and also it's very stable. You should not do it outside of your body. If you concentrate to some point, well, to say, if you're trying to see that only with your eyes again and again, then you will start seeing illusions. And so you have to, and also when you do it outside of your body, then, and also our human nature is nothing, it's not very special, but when you concentrate on a handsome man or the handsome man or beautiful women, then we also get very distracted, like Jang Dong-gon. Is he handsome? If you concentrate to outer borders like that, and also if you keep concentrating to them, what happens? Well, there are like fans, like a stalker who stays outside outside the house of entertainers for like 4 or 5 days. And also, if they concentrate too much on money, then they also become quite lunatic. And also, those who concentrate who adheres to have high status in society, they also have problem. Some people, sometimes you see people with your name cards about like 4 or 5 pages. Everything is written there to very detail, and the person is trying to show that he is in very high state, in high status, and but that also shows that he has very low self-esteem, and even if he has done something, well, the person is very low self-esteem. Isn't it so? Thus mundane world, in this mundane world, do you know who fears me the most? When some people come and say, well, I feel very sad about it because I live my whole life trying to earn money, But now when I'm about to count the money I have earned, I am about to die. So you should not earn your money as much as you can. The person has earned their own money, make living with all their lives, with the best efforts. So if you concentrate on money, there's a problem. The problem arises. So if you concentrate on those greediness, we don't call them concentration, but we say they are attachments. They share the same Korean letter J, but it's different. Making concentration or having the attachment. Here, we are asking you to concentrate on things that is beneficial to you. In our body, it is the bottom part of our belly because it is also the center of our body. It doesn't budge. And also in Mayana, when you ask you to concentrate in the statue of Buddha, is way better. If you concentrate more on Buddha, then sometimes you become more religious, or sometimes it's more beneficial, and there's no side effect to it. And even the object, even the concentration that we make, when we say we concentrate to breathing, well, we are going to breathe until end of our life. So there is a part that we can concentrate on until we die. But there's no problem if you concentrate on breathing, but that doesn't mean you have to control your breathing. You should not try to control your breath. And also, if you concentrate on the fundamental question, even when you concentrate to the fundamental question, no matter how much you do, there will be no answer. When we say there will be no answer, although we might get official answer, but there's no answer to the answer that we have received. To fundamental question, to raising the fundamental question, because fundamental aim lies in getting rid of the agony. So the concentrating with the fundamental question itself is not the answer. Well, that self is not the answer. Well, it's right to say that is the answer, but please do not misunderstand what I am trying to say here. So to concentrate your heart or mind, the object which we are concentrating, it doesn't lie in any outer boundary or anything else, whether it's raising the fundamental question or outside or statues. Well, even concentrating to mantra. If you concentrate on reciting mantra, that too, the problem doesn't become bigger, but you can practice better. And also, if you concentrate to your parents, what happens? There are some times you cry until you die. There will be other sentiments arising, so it's not okay. Well, it's life's. It's a style in this common world, but it's not good to respect your family in that way, because you should not have sufferings or agony arising even from your parents. Your parents should not be the object of your suffering or the cause of your suffering. Why is only 7 people answering? Well, about 6 people here didn't answer still. Likewise, when you make analytic practice, if you lose clearness to the object of your practice, then your mind will head out in the other direction. So the analytical practice, that's vipassana. When samatha is cultivated, well, when you make an observation, if you realize, you can realize that it doesn't have a form and it changes, and then you have no attachment raising for it. Well, if we say in front of the Seokjeon Monastery, some people drop about 1 million. When you look at it, you have to be clear first that it's not yours, isn't it? It has to be clear. You should say, well, it's not mine, but it looks like mine. And if you're with your shaking hand, you collect. When you start to collect it, and if you feel that if someone comes to get it, then I'll give it to that person. If that kind of thought arises, then well, it's not clear. It's in darkness. We have a song which is like it's mine but it's not mine, something like that. What song is that? Well, we are not aware because we are old. Well, she knows. She's about she's still aged, but she still don't know the song. She still knows the song. I changed my ringtone to the song which says "I'll die at 750." Why is that so? Because when I get the phone, when I get a phone call, it starts off from 100 years old. When they come to collect me from the other world, I will pick up a good date and I will come there. And the lyric was so funny. It was so funny, and so when I get a call, then I don't. In order to listen to the whole song, I don't pick up. It's so funny. The content is very Buddhist. At 150, if someone comes to collect, please tell them that I am already in the heaven. How old was the self-pride? If someone comes to collect at 70, then I cannot go because it hurts my self-pride. Everyone is going at 80, 90. I cannot go so soon. So I changed my ringtone to that. And when I see the message, when I see the names popping up who has called, then I just look at it and stay still, to listen to the song. I kept it from 100. Because whether it is 100 or not, I'm going to come there collecting my own preferred date. So that means you're also free from death. And well, 70, 80 about like the which hurts your self-pride. It is not as per the Buddhist teaching, but at age of 100, it was actually Buddhism. That's quite funny. So since I have already spoken about it, please don't make fun when you hear the ringtone. I have put it in order to study. So even when we do samatha, when we recite mantra, the mantra has to be clear. When we say Avalokitesvara, we can hear the sound, our own voice. We have to listen to it ourselves clearly, and we have to concentrate to it. If you cannot hear yourself, that means you have to know that you're dozing off. It is hearing that which you cannot actually hear. Since it's a hearing that you're not hearing yourself. So if it's not clear, and also the object while looking at it, you have to feel, well, that money isn't mine. And the person who lost it would be heartbroken now. But if you feel selfish about it, then you don't remember that person would be heartbroken. You feel that that's not yours, but that feels like yours. Then you have to think that money is very vain. It's just a bait of your greediness. This is something that not even dogs would chase after, but this is just a mere paper. Well, I have spoken this so many times when we went for training. When I see some monks, we are eating at 6:30. When I walk the person about 10 minutes prior to breakfast, and he was very angry because he was counting money. And so I told that person, go back to sleep. And that person woke up again and was angry again. And he said, because he tried to sleep again, he could not have the same dream. Well, it seems like he was getting angry even in the dream. Well, even this is dream. Even our reality right now isn't the reality. You have to know that. That's because you have a lot of trauma in the mind. So even when you practice samatha, if you're not able to make an accurate concentration, it either becomes vague or even the mind moves from one place to another, just like monkeys moving from one branch to another. And also, the color of our mind is just like a chameleon. Even when we are looking at the same objects, sometimes it changes in colors. If your and when your husband comes with a bonus this time, then you feel your husband is a little grand this time. But then when you see him, when you see him spending quite a lot of money, and if you say he doesn't have money, then you become a little uncomfortable. So even when you're seeing the person, then the person doesn't look like he is. Depending on the situation, you see different colors. So even the object or opponent looks different as per the color of your mind. It shouldn't happen so. So whatever it is, even when you're practicing samatha that concentrates when you're hurt, you have to concentrate where it rests, and it has to be clear, and you have to analyze the object. And even when you're making the deep observation, the observation should not be unclear. So in the sayings of the truthfulness, there's nothing like it seems like that, or it's possible in that way, or something like that. The sayings of truth is very crispy, crisp, and also very clear. It's very short. It's very clear. It's very simple, but But that's not spoken very directly because it seems like the other person is not ready to intake that. So it takes a little longer, but in reality, it's very simple. What is Buddhism? Buddhism means there's no greediness. Then why is so much talked about this? That's because people don't give up, people don't drop things, but they order, they want to survive, they want to achieve, and they follow themselves. And even greediness, depending on the situation of the person, it changes its form for too many times, and so you are full again and again. So in reality, the truth is very easy. It's very simple. From my experience, my knowledge, and what I have acquired, it's very simple. If you just ask me to write it as a book, then maybe we need less letters than Prajnaparamita Sutra. Because people have a lot of greediness, and since people think the greediness is just like happiness, and since people don't let them go, it becomes simple and it becomes more complex. And because of that, the letters, the wordings have been increased to like 84,000 letters. So if you are sharpness, and also if your concentration reduces, then you enter into sleepiness. You sink. So you need to be very sharp. The sharpness has to be very clear. Well, before, do you remember the dog, Jinok, the name Sana? When she was catching the mouse, the mouse was irritating her and ran away. And she was waiting in front of the mouse the whole of about like 3-4 hours, and she did not even touch her eyes. She was very quiet, and she caught the mouse in a week. Well, I thought if we do our meditation like her, then we would gain enlightenment, and we are actually worse than the dog who is catching the mouse. Well, I went in and did so many work and came out, and she was still standing the same. And because of that, I acknowledged her concentration, and I paid for 50 chickens. Well, one morning, she had some chicken splash on her nose, and she was very agitated. And one of the lady who is coming to monastery, she asked me, "Oh, what should I do?" And when I asked what happened, she went inside the chicken house and killed about 50 of them. And I thought, maybe you could have just killed one, but why did you kill all? With her concentration, I think she could also catch hundreds of them. Well, that's how the breed Jinok is. So what can we do? So the chicken she ate all, and I paid for the whole chickens. So if the Jinok dog is when it's trying to catch the mouse and is watching, do you think she can catch it if you do like this? Well, when you recite Avalokitesvara, that's why we tell you not to close your eyes, so that you are very clear with your recitation. But if you're dozing off like this, well, it's worse than the dog trying to catch the mouse. So what can be achieved? it won't be achieved. So at times like that, you need to be very clear. You need to stay awake. When we ask you to close your eyes, half close your eyes, we are asking you to do that because you're not swayed by outer external forces. So our Buddhism, we are doing that in order to awaken our our consciousness. It means wake up from your dreamy state, and the person who is awakened completely, we call the person Buddha, and who is lesser, we call them Arahant. But with the abstraction, when the practice is disturbed, you need to take appropriate counter method. So if you have restrictions, we have so many obstacles, even external and even spiritual. We are talking about samatha and vipassana here. So when you are practicing samatha, when you have a phone call, or if you're practicing with your phone beside you, and there could also be times when you feel that your child would call and you're waiting for the phone call. So there are so many disturbing forces, which is external and also internal, and also there is the obstacle of distraction in our life. And these distracting obstacles, if you feel that since you're living, and there are times when you feel that there is something that's necessary because you're living anyway. So you need to reduce them, and also you have a lot of distractions and also obstacles, and when you have those problems, then and also if you talk about this, then if you have obstacle that of moving around, then you should try not to move around. Without killing that obstacle of moving around, you will always be affected by it. And people also give excuse that we are living in this common world. What can we do? But you have to simplify this your life in this mundane world. Do not make it more complex. So you have when there's obstacle at each moment, you have to apply appropriate counter method. The problem arises when you drink, so you have to try not to drink. Well, you know the sayings of Busalgasa, and his house was rich. The biggest obstacle when he actually wanted to study and become monk, it was money. Because of the register of collecting money, he gave it to his friend, and said, "Oh well, I'm trying to study now, and because of my property, it's causing me a lot of obstacles. That's why I don't want it." But his friend was also also a saint, and the person was also like, if it's troublesome for you, then it's also troublesome for me. But someone like Busalgasa, who has studied so much, and when he looked around and wanted to give to someone who is poor, but the problem is they overflow without even boiling. When you are making a stew, if it overflows without even boiling, then there's nothing that is more problem than that. At the time, you have to take that out. What you have to take them out? You have to take out what's inside. So you should not give too much money to those. So even when he looked around, there is no one who would not overflow, even without boiling. And with that money, when he wanted to give the monasteries, the head monk had very small capacity, and he felt that even the head monk will only build a big monastery. So when he went to his friend, well, he thought his friend would use it for good ways, so he gave it to his friend. But his friend said, "Oh, I have to spend my time sharing to others, distributing that to others. So what am I going to do with it?" And so when on his way back, he just threw it into the river. Well, I'm a little interested in which river he threw that. Maybe I should go to collect it. Well, it's not been passed down where it has been thrown. Putargasa has not talked about the location. So, on those things, if you are swayed by it again, then living becomes more complex. So, when you want to study, so maybe nowadays I think palming hair is quite good, because if you palm your hair, then you don't have to spend time controlling your hair or selling your hair. If you palm it a lot, then you don't spend so much time selling it. Is it so? So yes, right. Even Buddha had curly hair. He has curly hair. So maybe they're trying to become like Buddha and they're palming their hair. Then I would accept it, if that's your motivation. Where the most interesting thing in the seniors nursing home, if you see it from back, then everyone looks the same. It's just everyone looks like same noodles, but it's just different in the color. So you have to apply the countermeasure right away. And here, Kamlashila said, if because of the obsession, if the heart is heading outside, then you have to apply voidness and you have to overcome that. So if a mind heads to outside external forces, and with that, if you have the sense of obsession, then when you are observing in deep manners, you have to watch it with voidness. Say if we are enemies of life, even if we share, well, if you look at politics, I think this is practiced very well. Even in Western politics, they say, well, we'll just come to Korea and see. Why is it so? One day, our politics, we do not. It seems like we are not. We don't really care about how it is. One day you're on this side, and the other day you're on that side. You're representative of some other region. Even we wear our clothes depending on the weather, right? But we cannot say the snake became a lion. But they change. With the Gwangju, with massacre in Gwangju, a lot of there was a massacre, and also well, with the Sanury party inside, well, they share the same root, so it's not to mention, but I was shocked at the fact that well, even if they want to join the party, they should be able to refuse. Where he's not the only one who is trying to adhere the economic freedom. So I think in this world about people who are 70, 80, 90s, if you ask what was the truth in life at the time, for example, if you say they live their life morally or raising children well or philosophically, whatever it was at the time, what was the truth? With the Korean War, officially 6 million people died, and they were taken to Japan, and it was also they were under colony. And during the time, what was the truth? Was it only black and white and red and blue? Ignoring all of them and just surviving? When the bullets were flying across the air, well, at the time you cannot be someone who follows morality. Well, survival is a prior utmost importance. Well, it seems like that paradigm is also in action in this life too. Where survival, was it only the truth? Well, the movie international market, while looking at that, I felt, yes, the protagonist, the actor there, well, his survival at the end of the movie itself was the truth. In that mess, and with the canyons flying, and in that such poverty and survival itself was the truth and also the reality. Well, that's not very relevant talking here. So those things, if your heart is heading for the external forces of obsession, then you have to realize that they don't have the phone, and they all change, and it's void, and everything is going to disappear. You have to observe in this way. Amongst the practice, if you are facing sleepiness or slumber or in a dreamy state or illusion state, then you have to concentrate on someone like Buddha, who is also the object of the greatest happening. Well, Buddha, by using those methods, has entered into nirvana, and he has entered into comfort without, which does not cause any more of agony in our life. How great would that be? In that way, we have to control our heart. By using such countermethods, the obstacles will sink and the power of practice will get bigger. If you only do this, then you'll become more stronger, and also the depth of your practice would get deepened. And as they get deepened, you will also realize that because of this, you have been told to do it like that. Slowly, you'll be feeling it. On the other hand, distancing yourself from the thinking and also agony, if you enter into in order to remain in samadhi, then your heart will only get distracted. If you are facing agitation, slumber, or other obstacles, and when those thoughts arise, well, when they decrease, and if you are practicing in other different methods, well, if you do that, well, when we are climbing uphill, when you are going uphill, then we have to try a lot. Well, I heard that about 40, 50 people are watching in Canada. I heard that you can see it there, well, because of the cable. So if you're climbing up the hill, then you have to face obstacles of shortage of breath and also difficulty. But if you go up a little, then you become free from climbing up, and you also be a little more comfortable. And likewise, when the slumber and also agitation disappears, then even if you are not trying to do it, you will be able to practice automatically. And if you're able to practice automatically, then you don't have to try so hard, just like the time when you were climbing up. There's no need to try so hard, just like when you were climbing up. At the time, you don't even become lazy. Uh, you will be able to practice just like that. If if while entering into samatha, if you're trying too hard, then your heart will become more distracted. The thing is, if you try too hard, then you will have other problems. Well, if you try too hard, then trying too hard would become the distraction and will also become an agni. Oh, today I have to do this much, and when the sun sets, and if you cry, well, during the time you're crying, you can also do your practice. Well, you might have done it in order to do your practice, but whatever it is, crying itself at this stage, if you're at such a level, then you shouldn't do so. At the time, you are just doing it religiously. While when your heart is sinking down, and if you don't practice well, and if you let it sink, then the mind will become like a blind person, and you won't be able to do vipassana. So, if you don't want to do, and if you are facing slumber, and if you want to take rest at such time, if you just let it be, then if you just let it sink, then it will become difficult for you to recover. So then samatha would also disappear, and while disappearing, and while you also have slumber and also agitation, and when you're treating others, you won't be able to look at them with your voidness, but it will become vague. So you have to try not to enter into slumber, and so and but on the other hand, if you are having peacefulness, then you should not try. Well, when people feel when it's not working out, they say let's take rest. That is not so. When it's not working out well, you have to try harder. Well, even the companies are like that. Even the companies, when the economy is bad, they invest. They make investment when the economy is not good, and when the economy is good, they earn money. But people who doesn't know, when the economy is bad, they hold on to money, and when the economy is better, they even lose the opportunity to make money. Well, I guess it's similar to that. Also, if you are in vipassana, then you should not try too hard. Well, when you're in samadhi, you don't have to try so hard because it will be continued. While practicing vipassana, if you strengthen wisdom too much, then samatha would become weaker, just like a lamp in front of wind. This is important. What is this? While practicing samatha, if you only concentrate on making observation, then your samatha will become weaker. That's why two of them have to be practiced together. It's good to practice two of them together in our everyday life. So through samatha, strengthening vipassana, and with the very sharp vipassana is being concentrated, then at the time your samatha would become stronger. If prana is weak, just like wisdom becomes too strong, samatha will become weak, and it will be just like your mind will shake, just like it's in front of the just like the lamp in front of the wind. That's why you're not able to see the truthness clearly at the time you have to practice samatha. Likewise, if the samatha's ration becomes too big, then you have to practice vipassana. So if only one of them is too strong, then the other one gets weaker. So you have to practice vipassana and samatha together. So if one side is weaker, then you have to strengthen the other side. And likewise, you have to practice that way, and that's also important. We are learning here logically, but while you enter into the deep practice on your own, and when you're practicing it, where these things, the contents are quite well organized, and also if they are well organized in your heart, when you are practicing the samatha or vipassana, you won't be weighed to one side, and you will be able to practice it well. Here, the writer explains about the method to enter into samadhi, which you can see the truthness very clearly, apart from thinking and also agitation. With the analytic wisdom, if you understand the truthness well, and even after understanding, if you can still stay in the truth in samadhi, then you have to try to maintain the state naturally. If you can practice like that without thinking or distraction, then maybe using the quantum method would cause unnecessary effect. So it's just like when you're not sick, there's no need for us to use medicine. Until we achieve vipassana on samadhi, it's important to practice analysis and also balance practice. So what is most important through vipassana? The voidness. All beings in this world, they don't have a property that's eternal. So with this dependent arising, you have to be able to make your observation. Also the samatha practice has to be practiced together. Then the thoughts of vipassana would become stronger and also sharper. Also, too detailed analysis disturbs your concentration. So yulgok, like this, while if you think the making observation is the right way, and so Yulgok faced this problem because while making the observation, he also faced the difficulties with his practice, and so he went to meet Venerable Sasan, and also because of that he faced many difficulties with his political opponents. I wonder when they show the program 심사임당, are they going to deal with the story of Yulguk? I doubt if they're only talking about something very ticklish. Also, if you concentrate too much, then you lose the analytic wisdom. So if you only concentrate all the time, then the strength of concentrating at the object becomes weaker. That's why in Korean Buddhism, when we are only concentrating on the fundamental question for 30-40 years, we have also faced problems. That's because we don't have pranya paramita. That's why those practice has to be balanced and also has to be compatible, and then we can have samatha and vipassana practice together. When at the state of samatha, the observation vipassana, two of them will be practiced together. So samatha and vipassana, they would be cultivated in unity, that we also stay gaining enlightenment. Well, in next class, we are going to talk about the unification of wisdom and also vipassana.